You well? How's Mataji? Not Mataji. Not Mataji.
She's okay. She's very busy with her services in her home here and now. So.
Okay, now's not the time for. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavari Pasyacha Deshatarine
Pour this water on some plants. Not outside.
Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Everyone sing. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya. Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale. Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityananda. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharane. Nivasesa Sunyavani Praschatya Desha Tarane. Om Aganitamirandasya Jana Jana Sulakaya. Saksa Samaritan Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale. Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Nadati Sa Pandantikam. Mansakopatubhyascha Kripasindhubayebhacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Today being Nityananda Trayodasi, I won't be giving a regular class, but what I'll do is weave together some of the pastimes of Sri Nityananda Prabhu from Chaitanya Bhagavata by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur. Now one of the little bit of different elements of this class will be that Nitai Charan will be playing harmonium, and then sometimes we'll have kirtan in the middle of the katha. Now here's the important thing. When it's time for kirtan, everyone please, at minimum 3 times, please chant with a full heart and see if we can get some special mercy from Nityananda Prabhu. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with a little bit of a kirtan, just a few times, and then we'll start the reading. Nitai. A little faster. Little faster. All glory to Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who is an ocean of mercy. Glory, glory to Lord Nityananda, the friend of the hopeless souls who have no other shelter. Glory, glory to Lord Chaitanya, the life and treasure of Advaita Chandra. Glory to Lord Chaitanya, the wealth of Srivas, the wealth of Gadadhar. Glory to Lord Vishwambar, the son of Sakshi and Jagannath Misra. And glories to the dear devotees and followers of the Lord. By Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, Ananta Shesha, a little louder. Yes. Ananta Shesha descended to this world in Radhadesh, where he enjoyed his pastimes. Lord Nityananda, who was the supreme ruler of West Bengal, was born in the village of Ekachakra. And his father was named Hadai Oja and his mother Padmavati. And from childhood, Nityananda Prabhu was peaceful. He was intelligent and virtuous, and he was the resting place of all handsomeness. His beauty defeated millions of Kamadevas. And because of his presence, the land of Radhadesh became all auspicious. Famine and poverty were completely vanquished. On the day when Lord Chaitanya was born in Navadip, Lord Nityananda, who was in Radhadesh, he roared with happiness. And that roar filled countless universes, making the entire material world fall unconscious. And upon hearing that roar, someone asked, "Was that a thunderbolt?" Someone else thought, "That was a great calamity." But someone else said, "I know the reason for that sound. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the ruler of Bengal, is now roaring with happiness." Although they spoke these different explanations, no one could actually understand the truth about Nityananda Prabhu. For they were bewildered, all of them, by the Lord's Maya potency. And concealing his true identity, Lord Nityananda happily played games with his boyfriends who were of the same age. And together, they imitated Lord Krishna's pastimes. Indeed, they never played any other games that were not imitation of the Lord's pastimes. On some evenings, Lord Nityananda and the boys would enact the marriage of Vasudeva and Devaki. They made a prison room late at night. They enacted the Lord Krishna's taking his birth while no one else was awake. They created a Gokul, and they took Krishna there, and then they tricked Kamsa by giving him Mahamaya. And full of love for Lord Nityananda, they were unable to fathom his true identity. Still, the boys never left Lord Nityananda and returned to their homes. Day and night, they played with him. And amazingly, the boys' parents never would rebuke Lord Nityananda. Rather, they simply would embrace him with great affection. They would say, "We have never seen anything like these glorious games. How does a small boy know so much about Sri Krishna's pastimes?" And one day, after constructing a Kaliya serpent out of leaves, Nityananda Prabhu went into the water with all the boys. But when the boys jumped up and down in the water, they all fell unconscious. And Lord Nityananda then brought them back to life. And once a boy dressed up as Narada Muni, and he gave advice to Kamsa in a secluded place. Another day, one of the boys dressed as a Kura, and he brought Krishna and Balaram on Kamsa's order to Mathura. Lord Nityananda personally took part in that game. He personally took the part of a gopi, and he wept a river of tears as the boys looked on. Bewildered by Lord Vishnu's Yogamaya, no one understood Lord Nityananda's true identity. Simply all the boys happily played with their friend Nityananda. Lord Nityananda acted out the pastimes of the Supreme Lord's incarnations, all of them. One day, Nityananda became Vamandev, and he cheated Bali out of the worlds that he possessed. One boy dressed up as old Sukracharya, and he forbade Bali to give in charity. But Bali gave the charity, and in the end, Vamandev stepped upon his head. On another day, all the boys became monkeys, and Lord Nityananda built a bridge to Lanka. Cutting some castor trees and throwing them within the water, the boys loudly exclaimed, "Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram! Ram Lala! Jai Sri Ram! Jai Sri Ram!" Then, playing the part of Lakshmana, Lord Nityananda grabbed a bow and he angrily went to meet Sugriva. He said, "O monkey, my Lord has become unhappy. If you wish to keep your life, then you must come with me at once. My master unhappily stays on Malyavan mountain, and what happiness will you find by staying here with your associates, but without Ram?" One day, Lord Nityananda played the pastime of killing Indrajit. Another day, he was wrapped in attention in playing the part of Lakshmana. He once made a boy play the part of Bibhishan, and he took that boy to Lord Ram, who crowned him the king of Lanka. One boy then declared, "I am Ravan, and now I will kill you with my Shakta-shila weapon. Protect yourself, O Lakshman, if you can." Saying this, the boy struck Lord Nityananda with a lotus flower, and Lord Nityananda promptly fell to the ground. He was fully concentrating on thinking of himself as Lakshmana, and Nityananda Prabhu fully fainted. Despite the attempts of everyone to awaken him, Nityananda could not be awakened. No consciousness remained anywhere in his body. Placing their heads in their hands, the boys began to weep. And hearing their loud weeping, the mother and father of Nityananda immediately ran to where the boys were playing. They then saw their son, but with no consciousness in his body. They immediately fainted and fell to the ground, and seeing this, everyone was surprised. When the boys were describing all that had happened, an adult onlooker said, "I know the reason for this. Previously, when Nityananda was playing a different pastime of Lord Rama's, he, while playing King Dasarath, heard the words, 'Ram has gone to the forest.' And hearing this, he, pretending to be Dasarath, acted as if the life had left his body. If someone will now dress like Hanuman and will supply him medicine, then this boy will be cured." Actually, the Lord previously had instructed his dear boyfriends, "When I fall to the ground, all of you should gather around me, and you should all weep. And then after a moment's delay, you should send for Hanuman, and when he holds the medicine to my nose, my life will return." Entering fully into the mood of Lakshman, Lord Nityananda had fallen unconscious, and gathering around him, his friends became filled with worry. Everyone was bewildered, and the Lord's previous instruction would not appear in their thoughts. They said to Nityananda Prabhu in the mood of Lakshman, "Oh brother, oh Bhai, rise, arise, arise Nityananda." And they simply wept loudly. Upon hearing the words from the adult onlooker's mouth, The boys suddenly remembered what the Lord had previously told them. One boy immediately dressed himself like Hanuman, and at once he ran off. Then another boy, dressed as an ascetic, he met Hanuman on the path, and he praised him and offered him fruits and roots and said, "Stay here, my son, and bless my ashram. I am very fortunate to meet a person like yourself." Hanuman replied, "No, I must continue on my mission. I wish to go. I cannot stay. You must have heard that Ravana hit Ramachandra's younger brother Lakshman with a Shakti Shila weapon and made him fall unconscious. And that is why I am now going to Gandhamandana mountain. And there I will obtain medicine and I will save Lakshman's life." Then the ascetic said, "If you must go, then first bathe and eat. Then you will gain strength and become victorious." Filled with wonder, everyone looked at the boys as they spoke the specific lines, the specific words that Nityananda Prabhu had previously given them. And after the ascetic spoke these words, Hanuman went to bathe in a lake. But there was a boy waiting in the water, and he grabbed Hanuman's foot. He was dressed like a crocodile, and the boy pulled Hanuman into the water. Then Hanuman dragged the crocodile onto the shore, and after a few moments of battle, heroic Hanuman defeated the crocodile. Then one boy who was dressed as a Rakshasa, he tried to eat Hanuman, saying, "You may have defeated the crocodile, but how will you defeat me? I will eat you. How then will you be able to save Lakshman's life?" And Hanuman replied, "Your Ravana is a dog. He is pathetic. Flee now, or I shall send you to death's abode." And after hurling insults at each other, they began to fight. They first pulled each other's hair, then they fought with their fists. And after a few moments, Hanuman playfully defeated the Rakshasa and then went to Gandharva mountain. There, after Hanuman battled with some boys dressed as Gandharvas, and after defeating the Gandharvas, Hanuman carried Gandhamandana mountain on his head to where the boys, surrounding the unconscious Nitai, awaited him. One boy, who was dressed as a physician, a doctor, a Vaidya, he placed the medicine to Lord Nityananda's nose. And a second boy said, "Remember Sri Ram." Immediately, Nityananda Prabhu, he stood up, and seeing this, his mother, his father, and everyone else smiled. Everyone else smiled. Even you. And all the boys quickly ran, Hadai Pandit, and quickly ran to the Lord, and he embraced him. And all the boys, they laughed and felt great bliss. Everyone asked Nityananda, "Son, where did you learn all of this?" And smiling, the Lord simply replied, "These are my pastimes. They are my Leela." In his early youth, the Lord was very handsome, and the people could not turn their hearts from embracing him. And all the people of Ekachakra loved him more than they loved their own sons. Still, overcome by Lord Vishnu's Yogamaya, they could not understand his true identity. In this way, Lord Nityananda spent his whole childhood. Lord Krishna's pastimes alone and nothing else pleased him. Shunning the homes of their fathers and mothers, the boys spent every moment playing with Lord Nityananda. Vrindavan Das Thakur says, "I offer my respectful obeisances to the feet of all those boys who had the great fortune of being with Lord Nityananda. Who can understand the pastimes of Nitai? For his pastimes are only manifested before a person who has gained his mercy. For 12 years, Lord Nityananda stayed at home, and after that, he renounced his childhood pastimes and went on pilgrimage for Bisal for 20 years. And then, at last, he attained the sight of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Lord Nityananda has delivered the entire world. He is an ocean of mercy. No one is like Nityananda. And by his mercy, Lord Chaitanya's glories become revealed. Please hear Lord Chaitanya, how Lord Chaitanya's dearest associate, Lord Nityananda, traveled to all the holy places of pilgrimage. Now's the time we chant. But a little faster than last time. Jai Nitai! Everyone! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, everyone! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, hey! Hare Bol! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Lord Nityananda on pilgrimage. Oh yes, by the way, we should chant like we are actually requesting, begging Lord Nityananda for some special blessings on this day. Keep that in mind. Lord Nityananda on pilgrimage first went to Virkeshwar Tirtha. Then he went to Ekeshwara in the Vaidinath forest. Then he went to Gaya, and then to Benares, the capital city of Lord Shiva. And seeing the Ganga, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy, and he bathed and drank from it. Then he went to Prayag, where he bathed at sunrise in the month of Magh. Then he went to Mathura, his home in his previous birth. He enjoyed water pastimes at Vishramgad and the Yamuna, and then happily wandered on Govardhan Hill. He then wandered throughout the 12 forests of Vrindavan one by one, and gazing at Nanda's home in Gokul, he sat down and wept many tears. Then, after offering his obeisances to the deity of Madan Gopal, he went to Hastinapur, the Pandavas' capital city, and seeing the home of his devotees, the Lord again wept. But, empty of devotion, the residents of that holy place did not understand why he was weeping. Thinking of Lord Balaram's glories in Hastinapur, Lord Nityananda called out, "Oh Balaram, please deliver me." And he fell down to offer his obeisances. Lord Nityananda then went to Dwarka. He bathed in the sea and was happy. He then went to Siddhapur, the home of Lord Kapila. At Matsya Tirtha, Lord Nityananda distributed food in a great festival. He then went to Shiva Kanchi and Vishnu Kanchi. The Lord next went to Kurukshetra, Pritudak, Bindu Sarovar, Prabhas, Sudasan Tirtha, and Namasaranya. After some time, Nityananda went to Ayodhya, and seeing Lord Ramachandra's birthplace, he wept many tears. Then, after visiting Madurai, noble-hearted Lord Nityananda went to Sri Parvat, where he saw Lord Shiva and Parvati. And disguised as a Brahmana and a Brahmani, Shiva and Parvati lived on Sri Parvat. And when Nityananda arrived, they could understand that the object of their worship now stood before them in the form of an Avaduta. And filled with happiness, Shiva and Parvati gazed at their guest. And Parvati happily cooked and then respectfully offered a meal to Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda smiled and offered his respectful obeisances to them both. Then Lord Nityananda went to a Buddhist ashram. And when he saw the Buddhist, the Lord asked questions that no one could answer. And Nitai became angry. And the Lord kicked them in their heads and caused them to run away very fast. Laughing and laughing, fearless Nityananda wandered in the forests, his body always overcome with love for Krishna. One moment he would weep, and the next moment he would laugh. Who can understand the nectar that he was tasting? In this way, as Lord Nityananda was wandering, by divine arrangement, he saw Sri Madhavendra Puri, whose body was filled with love for Krishna, as were all of his many followers. Madhavendra Puri tasted only the nectarian sweetness of Lord Krishna, and he tasted nothing else. Lord Krishna himself enjoyed pastimes in the body of Madhavendra Puri. How can I describe the great spiritual love Madhavendra Puri experienced? Now please listen to the remaining part of these pastimes very carefully, because wonderful benedictions offered by Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur will rain down upon your head if you listen and hear. When Nitai came before Madhavendra Puri, Lord Nityananda at once fainted out of spiritual love. He fell to the ground without moving. He was motionless. And seeing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri also fainted. He forgot who he was. And seeing Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri both unconscious, Sri Ishwara Puri and the other disciples uncontrollably began to weep. When they regained external consciousness, Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri held each other's necks, and they wept still further. And tasting the nectar of love for Krishna, the two of them rolled in the sand. They called out Krishna's holy names. They were overcome with prema bhakti. A stream of love flowed from their eyes, and the earth thought herself fortunate to be bathed by that stream. There was no end to their ecstatic symptoms of trembling, of tears, of bodily hairs standing erect. Lord Chaitanya himself was enjoying pastimes in their bodies. Lord Nityananda said, I have visited many holy places, but today I have attained the fruit of all those visits. For today my eyes have seen the feet of Madhavendra Puri, and now that I have seen the great spiritual love he bears, my life only now has become fortunate. Embracing Lord Nityananda, Madhavendra Puri could not reply. His throat was blocked with tears of love. He would not allow Lord Nityananda to leave his chest. And as the two gazed at each other, pure love for Krishna manifested within both of them. The hearts of Ishwara Puri, Brahmananda Puri, and the other disciples were immediately filled with love for Nityananda. In the past, they had seen Madhavendra Puri speaking with so many saintly persons, but they had never before seen this kind of love for Krishna manifested as they were now witnessing on the bodies of Nityananda Prabhu and Madhavendra Puri. All those who hear of Lord Nityananda and Madhavendra Puri's meeting will become wealthy with love for Lord Krishna. Lord Nityananda was drunk, tasting the nectar of Lord Krishna. Again and again he would tremble. He would fall to the ground. He would laugh aloud and sing the wonderful spiritual love of these two. The disciples chanted, Hari, 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 again and again. And drinking the nectar of love for Krishna, they did not know whether it was day or night or in whose homes they were staying. Madhavendra Puri said, I have never before witnessed this kind of spiritual love. Wherever this love is present, all holy places reside. And now that I know that Lord Krishna is merciful to me, now I know that Lord Krishna is merciful to me, because now I have a friend like Nityananda. If Nityananda is present, then any place becomes Vaikuntha and all holy places. And whoever hears from a devotee like Nityananda will certainly attain Krishna. And whoever has even a single sesame seed of hatred for Nityananda will not attain Krishna, even if he is a dear devotee of Krishna's. Day and night, Madhavendra Puri spoke about Lord Nityananda in this way. His heart was filled with love for him. And Lord Nityananda considered Madhavendra Puri his spiritual master, and he did not think of anyone else in that way. After staying together for some days, Madhavendra Puri went to see the Saraya river, and Lord Nityananda left for Setabandhu. In this way, Lord Nityananda traveled to the holy places all of them. And at the end, he returned to Mathura, and overwhelmed with love for Krishna, he stayed always in Vrindavan. He did not eat. Sometimes he drank milk if it was offered without asking. But suddenly, while he was in Vrindavan, an inspiration entered Lord Nityananda's mind. Nityananda Prabhu thought, although he is concealing his true identity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is now staying in Navadvip. And as soon as he openly reveals his true opulences, I will then go there and serve him. Holding this thought in his mind, Lord Nityananda did not leave Vrindavan, even to go to Navadvip. And there in Vrindavan, Nitai again and again enjoyed pastimes in the Yamuna's waters. He would play games with the cowherd boys in the forest of Vrindavan. All glory to Lord Nityananda, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I, Vrindavan Das, simply keep Lord Nityananda Prabhu's lotus feet carefully in my heart. When will that day come when I will see Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, the two of them surrounded in the four directions by the great multitude of their devotees? Lord Nityananda, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, is my master. And taking shelter of him, then I worship Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Birth after birth, may I study Srimad Bhagavatam with Lord Nityananda as my teacher. That is my desire. All glory to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh Lord, now here's a time for us to pray also a little bit. Oh Lord, please be merciful to me. I pray that you both will stay in my thoughts. Lord Nityananda is your great devotee. Oh Nitai, unless you award someone the ability to attain Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one can attain him. Hey no Nitai Vinay Bhai, Radha Krishna Paitai. A person, any person, who hears these descriptions of Lord Nityananda's travels to the holy places will attain the great wealth of pure love for Krishna. Sing it full-hearted. Some mercy from Nityananda, certainly. Everyone!
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna. Jai Nitai, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
As Lord Nityananda was waiting in Vrindavan, he finally heard the news that he had been longing for. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had begun his Sankirtan movement. Immediately, Nityananda Prabhu left Vrindavan and at once started for Sridham Mayapur Navadip. Lord Nityananda wore the garments of an avaduta. His body was tall, he was always grave and very, very deep. And the holy name of Krishna stayed always on his tongue, day and night. Moment after moment he roared with bliss. He was wild. His charming face defeated millions of moons. His smile was the life of all the worlds. His lips were graceful, they were handsome, and the splendor of his teeth defeated pearls. His glistening eyes were large, they were red. His long arms reached his knees, his chest was broad. He walked with soft and graceful feet. He spoke kind words to everyone. And when the people heard the words from his mouth, their bonds of karma were once destroyed. When Lord Nityananda came towards the sound of Nadia, all the worlds exclaimed, Jai, Jai. Who has the power to properly glorify Lord Nityananda, who personally broke Lord Chaitanya's sannyas danda? Even a merchant or a lowly person or a fool who chants Lord Nityananda's names becomes able to purify the entire world. Nanda and Acharya happily offered hospitality to Lord Nityananda. And whoever hears of Lord Nityananda's arrival in Navadvip will attain the great wealth of spiritual love. Lord Chaitanya understood that Lord Nityananda had arrived. He felt limitless happiness in his heart. And speaking to the Vaishnavas, he revealed what was soon going to happen. But no one could understand his words. He said, "Oh, my brothers, in 2 or 3 days, a great person will come here." By divine arrangement, a few days later, Lord Chaitanya, after worshipping Lord Vishnu, he hurried to meet the Vaishnavas, and the Lord told everyone, "Last night I saw a great wonder in a dream. There was a chariot. It was the best in the world. It had a palm tree flag, and it stopped before my door. And on that chariot, I saw a very tall person. On his shoulder, he carried gada. He was not peaceful. In his left hand, he held a cane, kanaldal. He wore garments that were blue. A blue turban, pagri, decorated his head. On his left ear was a colorful earring. I think that he looked like Lord Balaram, Mahaprabhu said. And then he repeated something 10 or 20 times. Is this Nimai Pandit's home? Is this the home of Nimai Pandit? Is this the home of Nimai Pandit? He wore the garments of an avaduta. He was very powerful. I never before saw anyone as powerful as he. Very respectfully, I gazed at him and I asked, "O great personality, who are you?" He smiled and said to me, "We are brothers, and tomorrow you and I will meet." And hearing his words, I became very happy. I felt that he and I are the same person. And speaking these words, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left external consciousness far behind. He entered the mood of Balaram, and he began to roar, "Bring me madhu, bring me madhu, bring me wine." He roared and roared and roared. And hearing his roar, everyone felt that their ears would split. Srivas Pandit said to him, "Oh my Lord, please listen. You already possess the wine that you desire, and others can taste it if only you give it to them." Trembling, seeing Mahaprabhu in this mood, the devotees stayed far away, but in their hearts, the Vaishnavas thought, there must be a reason for this. Laughing, singing, and rocking his body to and fro, red-eyed Lord Chaitanya became just like Balaram. And after some moments, the Lord returned to his natural state. Then he explained his dream. He said, "In my heart, I can see only one explanation for this. An exalted personality has arrived. As I told you all before, we will soon see a very great exalted person. Haridas, go. Srivas Pandit, go. Go find who this person is." On the Lord's order, these two great devotees happily searched every part of Navadvip. As they searched and searched, the two devotees said, "I think this person must be Lord Balaram himself." Wild with happiness, the two devotees searched the city, but they could not find even a half of a sesame's worth of news about him. For 9 hours, they searched in all of Nadia, but not finding the object of their search, they returned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. To the Lord's feet, they presented their report. "We could not find him or see him anywhere. We looked in the homes of every Vaishnava, every sannyasi, every pious householder, and every materialist even, but we did not see him. We looked everywhere in Navadvip. Only in the villages outside of Navadvip did we not look." And hearing these words, Lord Chaitanya smiled. He knew Lord Nityananda was playing a trick. He thought, Nityananda has hidden himself very well. In this incarnation, Lord Nityananda is carefully hidden, and only if Lord Chaitanya himself reveals him can anyone see Lord Nityananda? After a moment, Lord Chaitanya gently smiled and said, come with me, and we shall find him. Chanting, Jai Sri Krishna! Jai Krishna! As they walked, the devotees happily went with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and accompanied by the devotees, Lord Chaitanya, who knew everything, at once went to where Lord Nityananda was staying. And where does everyone hide? In the house of Nandanacharya. So now the devotees will all go to the house of Nityananda, of Nandanacharya with kirtan. But they have to go enthusiastically. Jai Nitai! Everyone! Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Keep chanting. But into the home of Nandanacharya. You have to keep chanting though. Everyone chant. Keep chanting, a little softer maybe. Everyone. Into the home of Nandanacharya, where Nityananda Prabhu, the jewel of exalted persons, was staying, entered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his Sankirtan party. And upon seeing Nityananda, yes, everyone stood still and simply stared. For Nityananda was as effulgent as millions of suns, and wrapped in meditation, Nityananda Prabhu did not notice that anyone had arrived. But filled with the happiness of his meditation, he was sitting silently, absorbed within, and smiling. Aware that this was a person who was very advanced in devotional service, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, they all bowed down before him. And then everyone stood with respect before Nityananda. And no one said anything. They only stared at Nityananda Prabhu. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stood directly in front of Nityananda. And Nityananda, although in meditation, slowly opened his eyes and he recognized his own Lord. Stunned with happiness, with unblinking eyes, Nitai gazed at Lord Chaitanya's form. It was as if with his tongue, Lord Nityananda was licking Lord Chaitanya's form. It was as if with his eyes, Lord Nityananda was drinking his handsomeness. It was as if with his arms, Nityananda Prabhu was embracing Sri Chaitanya. It was as if with his nose, Nitai was smelling Sri Chaitanya. With his eyes open, Nitai stood stunned and motionless. He neither said nor did anything. The room was silent. and everyone became filled with wonder. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was the master of all living entities. He knew how to bring Lord Nityananda out of his trance. He hinted that Srivas Thakur should recite a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and understanding the Lord's hint, Srivas at once recited a verse describing a meditation on Krishna, the gopis from Venugita. Vahapitam natavaravapu kanayo kanikaram vibradvasad kanakakapisam vajayantin shamalyam randram vinoradara sudya pureyan gopavinda vrindavaranyan sopada ramanat praveshat gita kirti. The gopis remembered how Krishna was dressed, decorated with a peacock feather on his head, just like a dancing actor, Nattabara, and with blue flowers pushed over his ears. His garments glowed yellow gold. He was garlanded with a Vaijayanti necklace and dressed in such an attractive way. Krishna filled up the holes of his flute with the nectar emanating from his lips. And so the gopis remembered him entering the forest of Vrindavan, which is always, always, always glorified by the footprints of Krishna and his companions. And simply by hearing the recitation of this verse, Nityananda Prabhu fainted. He was no longer conscious. Recite, recite. Again and again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Srivas. After some moments of hearing this verse repeated, Nityananda Prabhu regained consciousness, and touching Lord Chaitanya, he wept. Again and again, hearing the verse, Lord Nityananda became mad and roared like a lion. And hearing his roar, the universe broke into pieces. Lord Nityananda suddenly and violently fell to the ground, and in their hearts everyone thought his bones must have been broken into pieces. And afraid that Nitai was hurt, the Vaishnavas called out, Krishna, save him, save him, save him, Krishna. Lord Nityananda just rolled on the ground. His body was flooded with tears. Gazing at Lord Chaitanya's face, he sighed. Bliss was in his heart. And moment after moment, he laughed aloud. And one moment he danced, another moment he bowed down, another moment he slapped his own arms, another moment he jumped with both feet. And seeing this great wonder of the mad bliss of love for Krishna, Lord Chaitanya and all the Vaishnavas simply wept. Again and again, Lord Nityananda was overcome with ecstasy, and everyone tried to hold him still, but no one could do so. And when no Vaishnavas could hold him still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu embraced him. And Lord Nityananda had surrendered his life to Lord Chaitanya. And when Lord Chaitanya embraced him, he became still. Nitai now floated in the waters of love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was like Lakshman, who became powerless in Lord Ram's embrace. And struck by the hour of pure spiritual love, Lord Nityananda fell unconscious, and still embracing Lord Nityananda, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to weep. And after a few moments, Lord Nityananda returned to external consciousness, and everyone shouted, Haribol! Haribol! And Lord Chaitanya again embraced Nityananda. Gazing at Lord Nityananda, all their devotees felt their hearts become filled with Lord Nityananda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda looked at each other. Neither said anything. They only shed tears from their eyes, and feeling great bliss, their tears flooded the entire earth. And then finally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, today is an auspicious day for me. For today I have seen the pure devotional service that is the true meaning of the four Vedas. How can this kind of trembling, this kind of tears and roaring be manifested if it is not manifested by the personal potency of the Supreme Lord Himself? Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Lord, please. Lord Krishna will never abandon any person who with his own eyes has once seen this kind of pure devotion. Mahaprabhu continued, I think that you must be the Supreme Lord's spiritual potency, and anyone who worships you will certainly attain pure devotion to Krishna. You purify the 14 worlds. Your nature and activities are confidential. They are secret. They are all unattainable. Everyone can see that you are the personification of the great treasure of pure love for Krishna. Millions of sins and millions of illusions cannot stay with a person who attains even a half of a sesame seed worth of association with you. And now, I know that Lord Krishna will deliver me, for he has given me your association. I'm so fortunate to see your feet, and anyone who worships your feet will attain the great treasure of pure love for Krishna, Prema Bhakti. In an ecstatic trance, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorified Nityananda. He would not stop. Very agitated, Lord Nityananda became like a child. He spoke restlessly like a child. In his heart he was thinking, now my Lord has descended to this world. He folded his hands and he spoke with great humility. And hearing the prayers Lord Chaitanya had spoken, Lord Nityananda became embarrassed. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then asked Nityananda, what places have you seen? What holy places have you visited before you have come here to Navadip, Srila Mayapur? And Lord Nityananda said, before coming here, I visited many holy places, even the holy places of Krishna. But however, when there, I only saw the places. I was not able to see Krishna. And I asked the good people there, I see that the deity thrones have all been covered. All my brothers, please tell me, where has Krishna gone? And they told me, Krishna has gone to Nadia. He went to Gaya, but after some days, he returned to Navadvip. And someone who had heard the great chanting of Lord Hari's name in Nadia said, Lord Narayan himself has taken birth here. Nitai continued and he said, I heard that in Nadia, even the most lowly and fallen souls are delivered. And after hearing that, I, a great sinner, have come. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, we are all very fortunate that a great devotee like yourself has come amongst us. And today my life has become a great success. For today I have seen you weep streams of tears in ecstatic love. And anyone who hears this account of the first time Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda saw each other become free from the bonds of repeated birth and death. Anyone who desires to cross beyond the material world of birth and death and then dive into the ocean of pure devotional service should worship Lord Nityananda. If a devotee hears these pastimes, if a devotee repeats these pastimes, then Lord Chaitanya blesses him, his family, and his friends. The holy names of Lord Chaitanya, the holy names of Lord Chaitanya is very rare and difficult to find in this world. Lord Chaitanya is the life breath and the great wealth of everyone. The two moons, Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Sri Nityananda, are my life and soul. I, Vrindavan Das, sing the glories of their feet. Krishna. Everyone. Krishna, Krishna. Nitai. Hare
Hare